Sorry, honey. You're not my type. Radar echoes ahead. Yeah, Command wants us to get this shit locked down ASAP so we can move to new location.
Oh, shit! Nemesis, hang on! Can't shake him! Gun one, take him down! We're landing now! Hang on! LC's hot! Repeat, hot!
Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Persnickety and welcome back to Gears of War Ultimate Edition. We are moving on with the insane difficulty solo walkthrough, and this is Act 4. So I've said this in a couple videos. Acts 1 through 3, if you've gotten through those on insane by yourself, then good job. But unfortunately, the worst is yet to come. So Acts 4 and 5 are definitely the hardest in the game, with Act 5 being even more significantly harder than Act 4. But for now, we are going to move with Act 4, and you'll start in this large area here with a firefight going down. You'll just be thrown right into it, and pretty much all the enemies will be coming from straight over there at the building I'm pointing to now. And what you're going to want to do is there's going to be a couple waves of enemies here. So you're going to first work on taking out this first wave, and then as soon as you take them out and hear that little musical tone that tells you you're kind of done with the battle, you're going to want to advance and go to the building that they were all currently coming from. So you can see right here, I'm running up, taking my time though just to be safe, make sure everyone is out of the way. And once I do, I'm actually going to run over by that building that they're coming from now, because after this wave, the second wave is going to come from behind us, and the second wave is a little more difficult. So you can see they already started shooting at me before I was ready. And so what you're going to want to do is when you get a break, kind of make your way towards this building here. Now this building is fantastic cover. There's only one entrance, unless of course they come through a window, which is unlikely that they'll even get that close, but there's only one entrance. You can pick up a boom shot in here, so feel free to grab that, and there are going to be some boomers later, but I kind of decided to just use it on the regular Locust because it is a one-shot kill. Yeah, you can pretty much camp out and hang out in this building until the end of the firefight. Nothing too difficult. There's going to be a boomer later on, but by now you're probably pros at killing boomers, killing locusts. Shouldn't be a huge problem. A couple things I want to point out about Act 4. So Acts 1 through 3 were kind of, you know, with my commentary, if you watched those, I kind of would fade in and out. That was because there were a lot of times where it was unnecessary for me to talk. I just wanted to talk during the parts that I felt you guys might need the most help on. But Act 4 and Act 5 are almost just two long continuous firefights, and it also happens that these two acts are the longest in the game. But it's almost just fighting from start to finish. Of course, I'm not going to talk during cutscenes, and there are some areas where you're just walking and whatnot, but for the most part, it's just two very long firefights. And so most likely for these videos, I'll be commentating most of it, if not all of it, unlike the other videos. So you can also take the chance to pick up a torque bow once you run out of boom shot ammo, and you saw that the boomer was over there on the left, so be prepared for that. And they're going to just be, I mean, really, there's locusts coming from a lot of different directions, so my best advice would be to kind of stay back here in this area, and there's another boomer who will come from that far corner over there. But if you just kind of stay back and take it safe, this firefight shouldn't be too difficult. The torque bow is a very effective weapon against any enemy, and it's even better because it's better against slower enemies since it's easier to hit them, and boomers are incredibly slow. And then so once you kind of hear the firefight die down, you can feel like safe to leave this room. I knew there was a guy over here to the right, but I just couldn't like get my reticle on him. But so since I knew like the firefight had pretty much died down, I felt okay, I can risk it. I can come out and I can go hunt for those little stragglers that somehow didn't die during the regular firefight. So I ended up doing this on my second try, and both times the AI were actually pretty helpful in this section. I think I only had to save Dom once, but you have your whole team here, and the AI performed very well. So this section shouldn't be too hard. Once you're done, feel free to run around, grab some grenades like here. You can keep your torque bow or a shotgun, whichever you prefer. I always shotguns are easier to come by than torque bows, so if I find a torque bow, I'll go with that. But then you're going to come over here, and we're going to end up with a little cutscene and a split in the path.
Form up! Control, this is Delta, confirming 6-4 report. First drop zone aborted. We are at East Barricade. I repeat, East Barricade. Over.
Copy that, Delta. Be advised, there are survivors at 2-5's crash site.
Then that's our first stop. What's the situation on the ground?
You have two options, Delta. You can take the street, or move through those buildings ahead of you.
Well then, Control, we'll take both. Baird, you're with me. Cole, Dom, take the building and cover our back.
Alright, so I decided to go right in the split, and that's because I find this path easier, and I've kind of taken the same approach throughout this whole game. When you're presented with two choices, typically it follows the same pattern where one of the choices you're on the ground doing the fighting, and on the other choice you're up top providing cover. And I don't know what it is, but I've always found that being on the ground is better because when you have to provide cover, that means your AI are down on the ground, and your AI aren't the most helpful. Whereas if you're down here, you are able to kill all the enemies, but the AI actually are pretty helpful. So I think that I might just be imagining that, but I feel like it makes sense for the game to, you know, the AI are a little more helpful when they're covering you, because that's a little less important than actually taking out the guys full on themselves. But you're just going to kind of want to stay back here because there's going to be some Grenadiers, there's going to be some Theron guards, and they're going to want to rush you, so just kind of play it carefully. And then as soon as you clear this area, we're going to move on to the next area where there's a cedar. Now for now we're not going to worry about the cedar because we actually have very good cover and don't have to worry about nemesis or anything. But so you can see the cedar there, the cedar on the right, and there's going to be some locusts that are already out here. There should be 2 or 3 of them. And what's going to happen is after you kill those first 3 locusts, an emergence hole is going to pop up, and you can have a really good opportunity to shut that thing before it does any damage. So what you're going to want to do, or at least what I did, is kind of stay behind these pillars and take the enemies out as they come. You can see the nemesis are flying by, not really doing much damage at all. And then eventually, when you come out here, there's going to be an emergence hole that pops up right here where this like pillar is in the middle of the fences and whatnot, so you can get a grenade ready. But go ahead and pick up the Hammer of Dawn and start attacking the cedar. And so once you get a good opportunity, feel free to just take him out. Remember, it takes 2 shots with the Hammer of Dawn. And now after you kill the cedar, that's when the emergence hole should come. So you can see I'm already prepping a grenade. I get it in there, and boom, I exploded it before a single locust could come out. I think. Maybe, okay, so maybe a couple got out, or they came from different directions. But the point is the E-hole was closed really quickly. And so by doing that, you can obviously avoid a lot of the firefight.
The door is secured. We need you to unlock it from the guard station above.
Roger that. We're almost there.
So before we jump into the next firefight, I'd like to pose a question, and if anyone's watching this, then you can leave your opinions in the comments below. But so like I said, for Acts 1 through 3, I kind of faded in and out with my commentary. I felt like I should only talk during the important parts and kind of let you just watch the gameplay for the easier sections. But I've been, I myself, sometimes I look up guides for games that I'm playing, and I've noticed there's a lot of guide makers out there who they basically commentate the entire video. And so what they'll do is like they'll talk about helpful strategies during the tougher sections, but then during the easy sections they'll just commentate about the game or about random strategies or anything like that. And so I'd really be curious as to what people prefer. I know that for me, being a student and everything, the slow, or not the slower, the less commentary the better, and that's just to kind of manage my school schedule with filming videos, because you can imagine, like, this video here is an hour long, and that means if I were to commentate the whole thing, my commentary would be an hour long, and so you're basically doubling your work if you do that. Whereas if I only talk during the important sections, I'm slimming the time down by probably half. And so that's a huge difference when you're also balancing homework and everything. Now, of course, if YouTube was my career, if I was making hardest difficulty walkthroughs for a living, I would probably commentate the whole thing because that would be my full-time job. But that's not the case. But I am curious to see what you guys prefer. If you enjoy having someone talk the entire time, or if you only care for them to talk during the important sections. But anyway, you're going to come to this parking lot here, and there's going to be a big building and a lot of locusts, and you can basically hang back in this parking lot because there's going to be a lot of wretches, and so you'll want to take them out before you start worrying about the locusts. The locusts might charge you. I had that happen a couple times to me, but it shouldn't be too bad. So you saw that guy chainsaw Baird right there. Once you get a clearing, you can kind of run up. Now you got to be careful because there is going to be a turret in the house on the left that's on like the second floor. But we'll take care of him later. But for now, you can shoot that guy. And then just kind of let the enemies come to you. They'll slowly pour out of that house once they realize you're not rushing them, and you can take them out pretty easily. And then after you realize the firefight's done down here, you can run up, and you're gonna come through this house here, and you're gonna be in like a lecture hall.
We're at the lecture hall.
And as you approach this staircase here, get ready because enemies are going to be on this little bridge up above. So I tried to anticipate them with a grenade, but I don't really think it worked. But these guys will charge you. So you got to be careful. So instead of running up to those sandbags, I decided to kind of just hang back here in the doorway and take them out, so that there was like a smaller area that they could damage me in. And so yeah, just kind of hang back here and shoot them as, you know, just a regular type thing. I wouldn't risk it because if you do die on this bridge here, you'll have to redo that whole previous firefight, and I learned that the hard way. So be prepared for that. And once you clear them all out, you can cross the bridge, go in this building here, and now there's going to be a guy on a turret. And once you shoot him, he'll get off the turret, and he might rush you, he might not, but you just got to be prepared for both. I think this is, yeah, okay. So you can see him right there. He's on the turret, so I was wrong. He's not on the second floor, he's on the first floor. I don't know if I played this smart. I probably shouldn't have wasted torque bow ammo on one guy. I could have just used my Lancer. But, yeah, so Act 4 isn't incredibly difficult until about the second half. So if you remember the game, the second half is when you get to Marcus's house. And that's when things get a lot tougher. But honestly, if you end up beating this game on Insane, you'll look back at Act 4 with fond memories after having done Act 5, because Act 5 is just terrible. But you're going to see this propane tank here behind the truck, so go ahead and shoot that, and you can approach the area to trigger a cutscene.
Drop it! Now!
Alright. Don't shoot.
Shit. They're not going anywhere yet. All right. Dom and I will go ahead, clear the way. You catch up when you can. Control, this is Delta 1. Delta 2 is caring for wounded and flagging for pickup. Is the conservatory clear?
As far as I can tell, Delta 1.
Then that's our route. Jack, rip this door.
Alright, so you'll get to the area here where Jack has to rip the door open, and what's going to happen is while you're waiting for him to do that, a couple E-holes are going to form. The first one is going to form on the right, where we initially came from, and instead of running right up there and anticipating the battle, I kind of found it easier to hang back here, and that's because there's a wall behind you, so you don't have any fear of getting like snuck up behind or anything, and there's a lot of good cover here. So I would kind of recommend staying here, and you can actually aim your gun down this corridor here and pretty much anticipate all the enemies coming. I believe first some wretches might come and try to rush you. Yeah, so there we see them right there. And because we're kind of hanging back here, we can take them out easily with our Lancer before the locusts even start coming. And then as soon as the locusts do start coming, you can kind of pick them off from where you are. And another good thing, which I know it's been like my biggest strategy while playing this game, is another reason I stay far back as I can usually, is because the AI typically will run up. So you see Dom right there, perfect timing. He kind of runs up into the middle of the battle, and when he does that, the enemies become distracted by him, and if you're kind of hanging back here on the outskirts, you can pick them off while they're distracted. And so that's just kind of a useful tip on how to take advantage of the stupid AI. But so you can keep hearing gunfire, and so that's kind of your indicator that you're not done with this section yet. From what I can tell in this game, even though you're waiting for Jack to rip doors all the time, it's not actually a matter of waiting for a certain time. It's you know, Jack always just coincidentally rips the door as soon as the firefight's over. So you can't really just sit there and wait it out. You do have to eventually take a risk and come out here to kill the enemies that won't rush you. So you can see I'm kind of coming here, take this guy out, and what's going to happen is after you kill this first wave of enemies, you're going to want to run over to where they are, pick up some ammo, because another E-hole is going to form behind you, kind of on the opposite side of where Jack currently is. So you can see this guy was just kind of being a pain in the ass, but once you take him out, you can run up, and you'll see the E-hole is going to pop right over there. It'll prompt you to look at it. So what I did was run back here, collect some ammo, and then take cover again. That way we are as far away from the E-hole as we can be, and we can just keep waiting for the enemies to approach. Now these ones are going to be boomers that come out of here, so you are going to have to kind of advance a little bit, at least until you can see them. But if you still have your torque bow, great. If not, then just pick up some ammo and use Lancers. There's only two, there's no locust to worry about, so I would say, you know, don't waste your grenades or anything. And then as soon as you get the chance, make sure I accidentally dropped my Lancer. You want to pick that back up. Or, I mean, you don't have to, but I've always preferred the Lancer over the Hammer Burst. I think the Lancer is just a much better weapon, and I think it shakes less when you shoot it. But yeah, so after you clear that firefight, we're going to come in here, and we're going to be in this kind of like greenhouse area, and we are going to end up having to fight another berserker. Now, I actually got really lucky because the berserker in this battle got stuck, and it was really easy to kill. And if you do the same thing, you could probably get the berserker to get stuck as well. But if not, it's not incredibly difficult. You know how to kill a berserker by now. Yeah, so just keep walking through here, and eventually you'll know when the berserker is about to attack. Alright, so you'll come to this room here, and you'll approach this doorway, and when you do that, a berserker's going to come out, so don't run right up there. Just kind of run up enough to trigger the berserker. Go ahead and lure it, and it'll run right past you, and take that opportunity to run through this doorway. And then, no matter what you do, the berserker is going to burst through the wall right here. So same thing, what you want to do is kind of shoot it with your lancer to let it know you're there, roll past it, and then make your way to the next room. Really just the same strategy as before. Once you get here, you're going to want to pull out your Hammer of Dawn and just start going to work on the berserker. So if you can't get the berserker stuck like I did, so you'll see right here, the berserker ends up getting stuck on this bench right here, and I actually was able to kill it very easily. If that doesn't happen, just take the same exact steps you took during the first berserker battle. Just, you know, lure it with your lancer, it'll run towards you, roll out of the way, and then pull out your hammer and take it out. This will take about 4 to 5 shots to do, and you shouldn't have to really worry about your AI here, because you can see right here, Dom is also kind of stuck on the berserker. Like, Dom is just right next to the berserker, and it's clawing him, and it's not killing him. And you can see even there, Dom is literally in the Hammer of Dawn's fire, and nothing is happening to him. So I kind of really lucked out here. Very easy boss to kill, even if he doesn't get stuck. It's not that difficult. You just kind of want to keep using that hammer to take her out. And after that, after you finally kill the berserker, you'll have to turn a wheel to let the water down, and then you can proceed on with the rest of the game.
How about we never do that again?
Yeah, that works for me.
Alright, so you're going to come to this area here, and as soon as you kind of pop your head out of this doorway, you're going to see that there's a turret. If you still have the Hammer of Dawn, feel free to take him out with that. Easy kind of one-hit kill, and then you can even move that around to get some other locusts. As well, if you don't have the Hammer of Dawn, then kind of just hang back and try to take him out slowly. And then eventually, once you take him out, some more enemies are going to start coming. And this point mark right here kind of marks like the beginning of just one long continuous firefight, because what's going to happen is it's all going to seem like one fluid thing, but it's actually separated into a number of different encounters. But you're going to keep coming to big, large, open courtyards like this, and you're going to keep going through doors, and basically every time you switch courtyards, there's going to be another firefight. So at first I kind of was like, hey, why don't I just utilize my Hammer of Dawn here? But then I kind of realized, okay, the hammer's a little too slow, I better use a real weapon. And plus, anyway, eventually the Hammer of Dawn will lose satellite coverage, and you can't use it. So what you're going to want to do, same strategy, hang back, let the wretches come to you, take them out with your Lancer while they're far away, and they shouldn't really pose much of a problem. And once you kind of proceed up into this courtyard, as this happened a couple times, is enemies. I think I could be mixing up battles here, but enemies are going to be coming from behind you, so it wouldn't be a bad idea. You can see there was no contact there with the wretch. But you can run up to where that turret was and shoot the enemies as they come to you. So make sure you've cleared out all the wretches before you decide to kind of move up. You can see they might get stuck like that one there, was just kind of hanging out for no reason. But eventually that E-hole will close up and you're good to advance a little bit. So if you can find any ammo, take that. But yeah, so an emergence hole is going to pop up behind you, and you can run over to that turret as quickly as you can and take them out with ease. So get up these stairs, hop over the sandbags. Don't worry about finding ammo or anything right now. And then you're going to want to eventually hop on that turret, but you might want to take out those wretches first just to make sure that there's no chance of them rushing you. And yeah, so you can hop on the turret if you want to. Typically people might find that easier, but I don't care for the turret in this game, so I decided to kind of just stay up here and utilize my Lancer. But that is also dangerous because you'll see later I run out of Lancer ammo really quickly, and I had to actually later on resort to using my pistol. That's how desperate for ammo I was. So you know, just kind of be careful with it. And you can see here I decided to change the hammer for the hammer burst, because the hammer's going to lose coverage and it's just not as effective as it should be. So eventually a locust will come from that area and drop the pillar, and that's kind of your cue to proceed on. And so you can see here, like, we went through some doors and now we're at another large open courtyard here, and all you got to do is run up and you'll trigger the next wave of enemies. So there's going to be a Theron guard up there on the ridge, and so my best advice is it's always better to have a roof over your head, because that's more cover, and especially against torque bows it's more useful. So run back here and take out the enemies as they present themselves. The enemies are basically going to be coming from right in front of you. You won't have to worry about anyone sneaking up behind you since you already cleared that section. And so you're just going to kind of take it slow, take out the locust, and then eventually a boomer's going to come. So I would actually maybe recommend, I wasn't expecting the boomer, so I would maybe recommend using your pistol on these smaller locusts and then saving your Lancer ammo for the boomer. And it's not that the pistol is, you know, ineffective against the boomer. It's just that it takes so much longer to kill him, because you know, you have to kind of keep popping in and out of cover to take on a boomer. And the pistol just takes a really long time, but it still works. It got the job done. But you can see I'm running really low on ammo here, and picking up a shotgun isn't going to be your best bet, because this is just it's an open courtyard, and you don't want to risk running out and dying and having to restart the whole firefight.
Come on!
Somebody.
Help! Take it out! ammo. Nice. Good to go.
Alright, so later on you'll come to this area here where you're kind of surrounded by giant buildings, and when you get to these stairs going up, you'll see some locusts at the top. If you picked up a boom shot from earlier, this isn't a bad place to use it. This firefight can be a little tricky because obviously the enemies have the high ground here, but a boom shot is one hit, and even if you get it close, it'll damage them. And another reason this area is good for using it is because there's a lot of walls everywhere, so even if you don't hit them, you have a good chance of hitting a wall like right there and doing some kind of doing some recoil damage. But I kind of ran up a little hasty here, so I decided to back it up a little bit. There's going to be 2 grenadiers that you'll have to worry about, so they might run back, they might charge you, but it's always better to just kind of hang back. If they throw a grenade like that, you have a lot of room to move backwards still, so you shouldn't be in too much danger. But just kind of take it slow because it's always harder to kill enemies when they are at a higher elevation than you. And eventually a boomer will come out. Hopefully by this time, I know we were struggling for ammo earlier, but by this time you should have been able to find a couple crates and get yourself to a high enough amount. And so just, you know, same strategy, take them out. Luckily here, there's a lot of stuff that the boomer's missile can get caught on, so there isn't a whole lot of danger in this section. But still, you don't want to be, you know, incredibly out in the open with no cover. So just hang back. The grenadiers might start to charge you once they realize that the boomer is giving you trouble, so it's always good to stay back and take them out first if they get too close. And then once he's out, you can focus all your energy on the boomer. Don't worry about saving Dom, I've said this a couple times, but when the AI are too far away from you, just don't even bother trying to save them. Just wait until the firefight's over and they'll be revived automatically.
Die, enemy. Bring it! Out of ammo. I'll take that.
Alright, so a little later on you'll come to another large open courtyard. By now you should be pretty used to those. And as soon as you run up, you'll start to kind of trigger the enemies. They're going to be down below on your left, or on the left of where you originally came in from. And you should not have to worry about them charging you. So you can kind of hang back here at a higher level and pick them off one by one. Now be careful because there's going to be some Theron guards, there's going to be some grenadiers, and there's probably going to be regular locusts as well. So my best advice would be to kind of pick one side Here I'm on the closest side to the entrance, and just try to pick them off one by one. Now, if I had known what was coming next, I wouldn't have used my grenades so graciously right here. I kind of would have preferred to save them, because the next section is going to be a lot more difficult than this one here. So if you can, if you have grenades, try to save them. If they're your last option, then of course use them, but if you have them, save them, and just hang back here. Watch out for the torque bow Theron guard. If you do, so I actually didn't see him until just now, but if you do see the Theron guard right when you start shooting, try to take him out first, because that's always your biggest threat. But eventually you should be able to clear the courtyard and you can continue on. So there's going to be another Theron guard here with a torque bow. Both of them happen to kind of elude me until the very end of the firefight, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Alright, so when you get up here, you can go either right or left. I would recommend first going to the right, because you'll be able to take out one or two enemies first without you ever really exposing yourself to the turret. So you can see right here, if you kind of peek around this wall here, there's a turret right there. But you can maybe try to take out a couple enemies on that bridge, but once you realize the turret's going to kill you if you go any further, then you're going to want to run all the way here to the left. So you can give it a try. If any enemies are on that bridge that you can get to without being killed by the turret, do it. But if not, you're going to want to go this way, and you'll come to this little cemetery here, and a couple enemies will charge in. So just stay behind this giant house structure right here, and let them come to you. There's going to be a couple grenadiers, so be careful, because there's not a lot of room to navigate. And if they get too close to you, and if you start kind of panicking, you can always run back out here and let them go the long way around like that, and then it's a lot easier to take them out. See, because you can see how far in they rushed. They rushed to exactly where I was hiding, so coming back here at the entrance to the graveyard was actually a really good idea. If they get close, just utilize blind fire instead of having to pop out, because on Insane, one hit from the shotgun at close distance will kill you, so you don't want to risk anything, especially this late on in the game, when I'm sure you're kind of getting tired and regretting your decision to play this by yourself. And then you're going to come to this little archway here, and when you come up those stairs there, you're going to see this statue. So the video just had a pretty obvious cut, because this section is what I was talking about earlier. I died a few times here, and that's mostly because I just didn't have the right guns to take out this turret operator, and I had wasted some of my grenades earlier, so I couldn't really rely on those. And right now I'm using the Magnum. Even though I'm at a long distance, I kind of was a little desperate, and I'm trying to take out everybody that's not the turret guy. So you can see this guy here, he's kind of distracted by Dom, so I'm able to shoot him in the back while he's taking cover, and then luckily the other guy just took his spot, which was a brilliant idea. So I followed the same strategy and just kept shooting him in the back until eventually he died. And you can see Dom up there running around risking his life. Now don't worry too much about the guy on the turret. Actually, I think Dom even might have killed him, or right there, since Dom ran up, he'll get off the turret. But now Dom's back here. So Dom is acting really weird. I don't even know if that was Dom. Maybe it wasn't Dom. But I don't know why that guy would have gotten off the turret if it wasn't Dom. So once the turret's no longer a threat, you can come out here, and there's still going to be a couple guys. So there's actually going to be a second turret on a lower level under the bridge, and then there's going to be some grenadiers that will try to rush you. So right here you can see one coming. Just kind of hang back here and try to take out the enemies on the higher level first. So you can see the turret down there, but it's not really a threat. It's not really a threat until you walk down there. So kind of just jump around and try to lure out the guys that are on your level and take them out so that when you go down to take care of that turret, they can't sneak up on you or anything. Alright, so once you're done with those guys, you can see here, I still wasn't done. I thought I was, but then one started to really rush me, and I really panicked, so I ran even farther back, and then it was easy to take him out. But I did run out of ammo here, so you gotta be careful of that. But yeah, if you just keep running back, eventually they won't usually rush you the whole way. They'll like to take cover when they're out in the open like that, which does make them a pretty smart AI. But from up here, you should be able to position your reticle so that it's red, showing that you can actually cause damage, and you should be able to do it without exposing yourself to much of the turret's fire. I ran over here to see if there's any grenades that can make this job go quicker, but I couldn't find any, so using a gun from this distance should be fine.
Lock and load.
Thanks, man.
Got it. Nice! Nice! I'm out. Baird, we're coming up on the house. We're at the stairs now.
Copy that. We'll meet you in the courtyard.
What's going on up there?
Well, there's a bunch of assholes with guns up here, and they're trying to kill us. Bear it out.
Alright, so you're going to come to the entrance of Marcus's house here, and this is perhaps, in my opinion, the hardest part in the entire act, and that's because all of the enemies are way higher than you, and you have to make your way up those stairs without dying, and you pretty much have to do it all in one run. I don't think there's any checkpoints in this section. Now, another thing that makes this tough is there's going to be boomers, there's going to be Theron guards, there's going to be grenadiers, and there's going to be regular locusts. I think the only thing you don't have to worry about is wretches. So the best strategy I can give you is the same strategy we've been doing this entire game, and that's to stay as far back as possible. If you're playing on normal difficulty, then I would say, you know, shoot some enemies and then run up the first set of stairs, shoot the next enemies, run up the second set of stairs, stuff like that. But with this, you cannot run up those stairs because either the boomer will kill you or the enemies will rush you and they'll force you out of cover, and then the boomer will kill you. There's too many guys here to run up like that. So the best thing to do is stay back, and it might take a while. You'll have to be patient, but eventually the enemies will run down and they'll start firing at you. And when they start firing at you, you can pop up and get a couple shots in. And they might retreat back up the steps. That's okay. You should still be able to get a somewhat clear shot at them. So you can see just by kind of running around and switching my angle on things, I was able to shoot this Theron guard from a lot of different positions. Now, I got really lucky there. The torque bow, like, bounced off something or didn't hit me somehow. But there's going to be, like, a lot of enemies here, so just play it carefully. Eventually, the boomer will start coming down, and you can start shooting him. Now, you got to be careful here because this cover is very low, and since the boomer is higher than you, he has a good chance of shooting it at a good angle to where it hits like the top of the cover, and if it does hit the top of the cover, that'll be a good enough angle for it to actually damage you and possibly kill you. So the best thing I can tell you is just to kind of keep moving around. Try not to stay in one place too long. Mark him so that Dom focuses on him, but eventually you should be able to take him out. And once that boomer's down, then you can kind of start to advance a little bit. But I knew there was still one more person up here hiding behind this cog statue. And that's why I decided to stay back and shoot him. And then you can see at the top of the stairs there, since Dom ran up, a lot more, some more enemies are going to start running down. So staying back here is a good strategy, because if I were to have run up those stairs, the locusts that ended up coming down later, they could have easily killed me and forced me out of cover, and then, like I said, no checkpoints here, so I would have had to basically do the entire thing over again. Once you clear one side and you don't see any more enemies, just kind of shimmy over to the other side and see if there's anybody left. Watch your ammo here. That's one downside of staying back in these firefights, is that if you run out of ammo, typically they put new ammo, like, you know, in the middle of the firefight, so that as you keep pressing you can get ammo. But if you stay back here, you gotta really watch your ammo. And so this kind of became a long distance torque bow battle here to take on this last Theron guard. I had died quite a few times doing this section, so I wanted to be extra careful and make sure that running up wasn't going to kill me. So I just hung back here and tried to wait until that Theron guard made himself presentable, and then eventually I was able to finish it off with a kill. And once you do that, you can find some ammo right there. But once you take out the last guard and hear the musical tone and know you're done with the firefight, then you can go up the steps safely and trigger a short little cutscene.
Up there! God damn, is this ever gonna end? Control, this is Delta, go ahead.
I'm detecting seismic activity inside the house. There might be locust tunnels inside.
Copy that, Anya. We are aware. Woo! Yeah, baby! What's up, ladies? Locusts are inside.
There's something else here too, an APC behind the house. Now we can get out of this shithole. No offense.
Yeah, an APC doesn't work, though.
I told you I'd fix it.
Listen up. We don't have much time. Get back there and make sure that APC works. We're going in.
Alright, so eventually you'll be able to make it inside the house, and a neat little trick you can do here is just instantly run upstairs. Do not run to the left, because if you run to the left, you'll trigger an emergence hole, and it's actually better to save that until later. So if you run up here, you can go ahead and look for ammo and whatnot, but basically some enemies are going to spawn on the opposite side of the house here. You can run back here. There's a lot of ammo here, so if you had any shortage in the earlier section, you shouldn't have to worry about it here. But like I said, so enemies are going to start spawning at the opposite end of this house on the second floor, and so you can take them out pretty easily from here. I don't think I was ever rushed in this location, but you can see here, since Dom's on that corner, they're kind of distracted over here, and I'm able to get a good vantage point and take them out. Now, the reason you don't want to run to the left as soon as you enter the house is because an emergence hole is going to form on the lower level, and basically right below where I'm aiming now, and they're kind of hard to kill if you're down there too. So the best thing you could do is actually to take out the guys upstairs first, and then run downstairs, trigger the E-hole, and then run back right up to this location where we're at now. And you'll see in a little bit why that's such a good strategy. But so Dom just said upstairs is clear.
Status is that it sucks. Clutch plate is cracked. I'm gonna have to take out the flywheel.
Hey, Baird.
And pull the drive shaft
Enough.
for sure.
Just fix it.
Right. Roger that. I can do that.
Alright, so after that little dialogue, you can pick up some ammo if you need it. You can run over here to make sure there's no grenades or ammo or anything that maybe you need before the next wave of enemies. You see I just passed a shotgun.
I'll take that.
I actually decided to sacrifice the torque bow for it because for pretty much the rest of this chapter we're going to be in this house, and that means close quarters, and shotgun is your best friend in those types of situations. So anyway, once you're ready, run down here and run up just far enough to trigger the E-hole, and then instantly run back upstairs to the location where we were shooting at them previously. And the reason this is so good is because the locusts that come out of this hole, they're not going to run up the stairs. There's also going to be some wretches, so that's also a plus to be way up here and far away from them. But you can see now we are at the elevated position, and if they take cover, we have a much higher chance of being able to hit them because their cover is just not going to do it. And they'll take some cover in some good spots that would be really hard to hit them if we were down on that first floor, but since we're up here, it's easy. So see, like this guy right here, he charged us, but since we're higher than him, boom, just take him out, no problem. And you can do that with the entire emergence hole and save yourself a lot of trouble in this section.
Target my mark! Shit! Did you feel that? It's gotta be another hole.
Alright, so once you clear everyone out, we have to advance through the house, but you got to be really careful doing this because an enemy with a magnum is going to pop out of the door right there. So just run up enough to trigger him, but then run back upstairs to safety and take him out. If you had kept running up any further, he most likely would have killed you, or if you had stayed down there, he would have rushed you and killed you. So you're going to want to take him out, and then once you do that, you'll be good to run up a little farther. So take him out. And I think actually what's going to happen, if I remember correctly, is the next door that we try to go through, even more enemies are going to try to stop you, but you shouldn't have to worry about that right now. What's going to happen is once you take out that guy that came out of the doorway, we're going to be able to go through the door that he opened and through the house, and basically once you go through the rest of this house, it's just little small firefights. There's no real strategy I can give you. You have your shotgun for close quarter combat, you have your lancer, you could be cautious like I'm being here and make sure no one else is going to pop out, but really until we get down into the basement, there's nothing to worry about, just some small regular firefights. So I'm going to skip ahead to the basement section.
Regroup.
Right behind you.
Nice!
Losing blood. Somebody. Help!
Oh, yeah! Ah, come on! Oh, yeah!
Just hitting my stride.
Engage!
Hell yeah!
Nice. Reloading. There's the cellar. Let's go.
Alright, so once you get to this gate here, that means we're going down into the cellar, and this is when things start to get a lot tougher than they were up here. So go ahead and raise this gate, and what's going to happen is, as we make our way down, you're going to come to a room, and you're going to see two locusts. So if you break down this wall here, there's going to be a lot of grenades to pick up, and you'll see at the bottom of the stairs right here, there's going to be two locusts in there. Chuck a grenade in there and try to take them out with one explosion, and if you don't get them both, just kind of hang back with your gun and take them out after that. But you're going to want to do that instead of shooting them, because if you start shooting them, they're both probably going to rush you, and these are just way too small of quarters to take them out effectively with the gun. But so once you take them out, you can run back up and pick up a grenade from that room, since you probably had to use one to take out those guys. And then you're going to make your way through the door here.
Quiet. nothing we can do about it. Keep moving.
And from this point here, you actually have nothing to worry about. What's going to happen is you're going to come in here, and you can see there's a shotgun, or sorry, a sniper rifle, if you want it, but these are close quarters, so I heavily advise against it. And you're just going to keep making your way through this cellar here, and you're going to come to this large room right here. No enemies to worry about yet. And you'll see a shelf that looks kind of out of place, and that's going to be on the left right here. And you can actually interact with that, and what's going to happen is you're going to kick it, and Jack's going to have to rip a door for you. And while Jack's ripping that door, you're going to be stormed by a couple waves of enemies, and the best advice I can give you is to actually stay in this small room here. It seems risky, but I was able to do this on my first try without a problem, and that's because Dom won't stay in here. So Dom will be able to distract the enemies that are outside, and they're going to come from one of these two doorways here and just kind of stay in this spot, shoot them as they come, and you really shouldn't have too much to worry about. So instead of talking through this section, I think it might actually be easier for you to just watch it and see exactly what I do.
Oh shit! Here they come! Keep them away from Jack! Watch it!
Scratch one grub. Come on! Let's do this.
Marcus, it's open.
Got him. Jack, plug in and see what you can find. All right, Anya.
I'm bringing up the data now. Stand by.
What are we looking at?
They're locust tunnels. Doesn't seem possible. There can't be these many tunnels. It's a honeycomb. The planet's crust is riddled with them. They're everywhere.
I take it that qualifies as enough data to get the job done?
More than enough.
Then let's get out of here. Start pulling the data.
I can't. The files are too big for this bandwidth.
Then we'll take them with us. Jack, download this data.
Confirmed, but it'll take a while.
Guys, there's still a war going on up here. Get up here, will ya? Give us your location. Front of the house, second story. Hurry up. We're on our way.
Alright, so after the cutscene, we'll have to make our way back up to the first floor of the house, and the problem is now when we came through here originally, we didn't have to worry about any enemies, but now we do. So what you're going to want to do is walk up here first and trigger those wretches. Hopefully you still have your shotgun because these are close quarters. You're going to make your way through here, and what's going to happen is there's going to be a grenadier that tries to rush you, and he's going to run around for a bit, and he's actually kind of hard to kill. So if you can kill him quicker, that's better, before he kind of gets hidden again. But so you could see he took cover on the opposite side over here, so I tried shooting him, but then he seemed to kind of not move, or he stayed where he was. I think Dom might have been distracting him. Yeah, because you can see Dom over there too. So once you, if you can confirm that Dom is over there, you might want to run up and take a chance. Because right there I ran up and chainsawed him, and that was pretty risky. If Dom hadn't been there distracting him, I probably would have died. But anyway, so once you take out those wretches and that grenadier, you're good to go up. And it might actually have been a good idea for me to have picked up that sniper rifle that I passed earlier, because that will be helpful in the next section. But a shotgun's also not a bad option. So I would take whatever gun you prefer, but I would say that I think a sniper rifle might have been a smarter decision to take for the upcoming section. So what's going to happen here is it's a little tricky, because you can run up and trigger the enemies, especially the wretches, but when you run back here, there's actually nothing to take cover behind, so just kind of be a little careful. If you need to, you can duck back into that doorway that you came through that's on your right. But what you're going to want to do is just wait back here and make sure that all the wretches come and take them out. And then once you walk up a little further, there's going to be a locust that tries to kill you. But you can see there's definitely a lot of wretches to deal with first, and you don't want to be in that room up ahead, because it'll be a lot harder to kill them. So by hanging back here, you kind of force them in the narrow hallway. And then as you walk up, that's when the locust will trigger and come out. And like I said, this part can be a little tough because you can't take cover behind anything back here. The other annoying thing that I think they should have included is I couldn't find out a control to look over the opposite shoulder. Like I know in Uncharted you can switch shoulders to give yourself a better angle based on like what side of the wall you're peeking around. And in this game you can't do that. So that was pretty frustrating. But so once you kill that guy, just keep making your way through the house, and eventually you should be able to get to the second story and help out Baird and Cole.
Decided to show up. The locusts are outside. Yeah, whoa! Bring it on, baby! Cole and I'll go protect the APC while you wait for Jack. Keep them out of the house.
Alright, so after the cutscene, there's going to be some enemies down in the front yard, and you can start shooting them, but really I would just kind of not even waste your ammo, because what's going to happen is a boomer's going to run in with a battering ram, and you can't kill him, so don't even try, and he's going to break down the front door, allowing the enemies in. So what I would do right off the bat is once you see him start coming, run over here and get a good angle, and what you can do here is you can damage the enemies as they start coming in. And what you're going to want to do is basically stay on the second floor this entire time. And so you did your initial damage right there, and then the enemies might come upstairs, so the best strategy I can give you is to run back here on the side that we've been doing most of our damage in this room. This Theron guard here is going to have a torque bow, so try to take him out first. This section here isn't that difficult, it's just that it's kind of long, and there's no checkpoints, so you have to get through it all in one go. Try not to blind fire grenades like I did there. I just completely wasted a grenade for no reason. But you're basically going to hang back here, and this area is really good for cover, because if they do go around the other way, you have a wall right there directly to your right that you can see that will give you some decent cover. But basically just try to keep moving around, catch the enemies off guard. So you saw right there the Theron guard was taking cover behind that couch, and since I ran over to his side, he wasn't expecting me, and I was able to shoot him in the back and kill him. And basically you're going to follow that strategy for this entire section. So you're just going to stay back here, Try to shoot them as they come up the stairs. Obviously, that's your best bet. And if you get an option where there's no enemies on the second floor, then you can run back to this cover spot that we've been using the entire act, or at least the entire time we've been in this house. And here you can shoot the enemies really easily because they'll take cover, but since you're higher than them, their cover is ineffective and you're able to kill them without a problem. But then of course, if an enemy does run up to the second floor, then I would go around the corner and take cover behind the walls that we've been using. So right there, an enemy's coming upstairs, I switch corner, and then boom, I'm in the perfect spot to take him out, and he can't shoot me in the back from where I previously was.
Oh, yeah.
And so you can see that we've already killed a ton of enemies, and still they're not dead, and eventually a boomer's going to make his way in. So what you're going to want to do is you want to be really careful here, because there's just so much around you that a well-placed boom shot could end up killing you. So try to use any grenades you have left to take out that boomer. You can see that I did kind of a poor job of it, and so as soon as you get the opportunity, I would say try to just blind fire here. Pop up only if you can, because there's still a lot of locusts in the area too. But this is probably where you're going to struggle the most, because there's locusts, there's Theron guards, and there's a boomer. If you can, try to take out that boomer first just to be safe. You can probably get a lot of damage done on him before the locusts come in, but if not, just try to keep blind firing, and eventually you should be able to take him out. And the locusts, for the most part, they should stay on their side of the house, giving you some freedom, and chances are you'll probably start to run out of ammo here. And if that's the case, you can actually run over into one of the bedrooms and you can pick up some fresh ammo. So I think I'll actually end up doing that in a couple seconds, but use what you can. You can see here I resorted to using the revolver because I really just wanted to get that Theron guard out of the picture, and eventually you'll be able to take him out. The enemies will stay in an easy position for you to kill them. So I'm taking cover behind this corner again, but then because I saw the locust was not entirely on the first floor, I decided to run back. But yeah, so if you run in here, there's grenades right there, and there's actually some ammo in that room, I believe, that for some reason I decided to ignore. But the grenades will help you, so you might want to grab those for the boomer, or just, you know, for these last couple straggling locusts. And like I said, this is a really long, tough section, so don't be afraid to just be patient. So finally, I realized, okay, I can't do this all with my revolver, so I ran into this room here when I had an opening, and I got a whole fresh supply of Lancer ammo. But yeah, so there's no checkpoints here, so don't be afraid to just be incredibly patient with this section, and just stay back here, let the locusts come out one by one, and take them out. So you can see this guy got really close to me, and I got really frightened, and if he had rushed me, I probably would have died. And that he came up there when I went to get ammo, so be careful of that. I wasn't expecting it, but since you watch this, you can be expecting it. So if you run in there to get ammo, when you come back, make sure you check that wall there to make sure there's no locusts waiting for you that came there while you were gone. And then since there's no one on the second floor anymore, I'm going to take this opportunity to use this perfect corner and take out all the remaining guys, and eventually you should be able to finish the section. Now what's going to happen is another door is going to open up down here, and when it opens up, another locust is going to pop through. So run down just far enough to trigger their emergence, and then run back up here to safety and take them out before they can do any damage to you.
Scratch one grub. Let's do this. Damn it. Throwing frag! Dirt.
Alright, so you're going to come to this area here, and this is the area where we were just looking down upon, and we had to shoot the propane tank so that we could get through the door. And there's going to be a couple enemies in here, but you're going to have to run up to trigger them, and there's going to be one guy that we have to worry about. I kind of took my time with this guy. I was kind of stupid about it. I ran straight up to him, and we kind of just came to this stalemate here where we were standing on opposite sides of the statue, and I just kept blind firing him with my shotgun. But basically, once you kill him, you'll be able to keep going, and there's going to be 3 boomers, but luckily you don't have to kill the boomers. You can just run past them, as I'll show you. But before we get there, I'll just take this opportunity to say thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you get the chance. If this video helped you out or anything like that, I always appreciate the support. Leave some comments below letting me know what you think about the quality of my videos, of my gameplay, anything like that. I love interacting with you guys any way I can. But enough of that. So you're going to come down here, and you're going to get to this area, and there's going to be 2 boomers, and you don't have to fight them. They're gonna both go to one side, most likely, either the left or right, and all you have to do is switch from cover to cover and run past them. And then once you get an opening, just keep running all the way to the truck. There's going to be a 3rd boomer that appears, but if you just keep running, he won't even have enough time to shoot you. So here you see I got the opening, I ran for it, run Forrest run, and I got to safety. Alright, see you later everybody, bye!
Come on, come on, come on!